Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Chapter 41.
Down by the river, Liu Bei's famously fiery sworn brother, Zhang Fei, he gets into it with Cao Cao's forces. He ends up fighting Xu Chu, who's one of Cao Cao's big deal bodyguards. They clash for a bit, but then Xu Chu, maybe he senses things aren't going his way. He manages to break off and escape.
Right, a strategic retreat. Xu Chu was known for his strength, but also for knowing when to fight another day. Zhang Fei chases for a bit, but then, wisely, heads back to Liu Bei and Zhuge Liang. They're getting ready to cross the river.
This little fight, it kind of sets the scene, doesn't it? It's like a probe testing the waters.
Exactly. It shows the constant back and forth, the need to adapt quickly. And yeah, even the toughest warriors like Xu Chu knew when pulling back was the smart move.
So after that initial clash, Liu Bei, Zhuge Liang, and Lu Feng and Ni Feng, two of his generals, they successfully get across the river to Fancheng.
Okay.
And this is where it gets really interesting, I think. Zhuge Liang, immediately orders all the boats and rafts that used to be burned. Just like that.
Whoa! Talk about commitment.
Right. No turning back.
That's classic Zhuge Liang. It's not just practical, like getting rid of transport. It's pure psychological warfare.
How so?
Well, it tells everyone his own troops, the enemy retreat is off the table. We're all in. It focuses the mind, you know? It's a power move. Shows absolute resolve. No plan B.
A point of no return. Literally. Okay, so while they're burning boats, back on Cao Cao's side, the news isn't great.
Predictably.
Cao Ren, one of his top generals, gets his scattered troops together and sends someone, Cao Hong, to report the defeat. And Cao Cao, he is furious.
Oh, I bet.
Apparently he yells something like, "That Zhu's villager, how dare he?" And he doesn't waste any time. He mobilizes his entire army. We're talking a massive force converging on Nui.
Wow.
He orders searches in the mountains and critically tells his men to fill the Beilong River. Basically choke off Liu Bei's main escape route south.
That's altering the landscape. Serious stuff.
Yeah. And then he splits his army into 8 different groups to hit Fancheng from all sides at once.
It's overwhelming force, but what's interesting is that personal anger towards Zhu Liang.
Right. Zhuge's still kind of the new guy on the scene.
Yeah, exactly. It feels less like just a strategic loss for Cao Cao and more like a personal insult. So his response is huge, almost theatrical. Total domination is the goal.
But then, someone in his camp speaks up. Liu Ye, one of his advisors.
Ah, Liu Ye. Always thinking.
He suggests maybe try recruiting Liu Bei first. He calls it buying the people's hearts. What's the angle there? It sounds like more than just getting Liu Bei to switch sides.
Oh, it's much smarter than that. Liu Yi's playing the long game. It's a psychological move, really.
Okay.
See, even if Liu Bei says no, which, let's be honest, was likely the act of Cao Cao offering peace and amnesty, makes Cao Cao look compassionate to the ordinary folks.
I see. It undermines Liu Bei's image as the benevolent leader.
Precisely. It paints Liu Bei as the one dragging them into war if he refuses. But if by some chance Liu Bei does surrender, then bam, Cao Cao gets the whole strategic region of Jingzhou without a fight.
Win-win for Cao Cao, image-wise or territory-wise. Clever. Like strategic PR.
Exactly. Precursor to modern influence campaigns. Win hearts before you win battles.
So who do they send on this tricky mission? Someone with ties to Liu Bei, right?
You guessed it. Liu Ye suggests Xu Xu.
Ooh, Xu Xu. That's complicated. He used to be with Liu Bei. Cao Cao essentially tricked him into joining his side.
Right, so Cao Cao's hesitant. He's thinking, is this guy going to just run back to Liu Bei?
Makes sense.
But Liu Ye reassures him, says Xu Xu is a man of honor, bound by his situation, and wouldn't want the ridicule of failing a mission, even one for Cao Cao.
Okay, so Cao Cao agrees. He calls Xu Xu in.
And he lays it on thick. Tells Xu Xu he pities the people in Fancheng, offers Liu Bei amnesty, titles, the works, if he surrenders.
Or else.
Or else, utter destruction. He uses this phrase, jade and stone burned together. Total annihilation. No survivors, soldiers, or civilians.
And he puts it right on Xu Xu. Don't fail me. Talk about pressure. Xu Xu is caught between his old loyalty and his current forced obligation. It's a terrible spot.
So Xu Xu heads off to Fancheng. He gets there. Liu Bei and Zhuge Liang greet him, probably warmly, remembering old times. Yeah, but Xu Xu can't linger on that. He gets straight to the point. He tells them, look, Cao Cao's offer, it's fake. It's just a ploy to win popular support.
Okay, that's important, but not entirely unexpected, maybe.
True. But then he drops the real bombshell. He reveals Cao Cao's entire plan, the 8 attack routes, the filling of the Beilong River. Basically everything.
Wow. So he uses his official mission as cover to deliver critical intelligence.
Exactly. It's an incredible act of covert loyalty. He tells Liu Bei flat out, Fan Cheng is doomed. You need to get out now. Make plans fast. This warning basically saves them from walking into a massive trap.
Liu Bei, ever the sentimental one, he pleads with Xu Shu to stay, right, to rejoin them.
He does, but Xu Shu refuses. He's still deeply pained by his mother's death, which Cao Cao manipulated to trap him in the first place.
Right, that whole tragic story.
And Xu Shu says he swore an oath never to offer a single piece of strategy to Cao Cao. He can't serve a man he despises. But then he gives Liu Bei some comfort.
What does he say?
He heaps praise on Su Jiliang. Tells Liu Bei, basically, you've got the sleeping dragon now, you're in the best possible hands. And with that, he leaves.
A loyal departure. That's quite something. Giving them the intel they need and then leaving, knowing he can't stay.
It really shows his integrity. He knows his presence could be a liability, maybe even politically complicated for Liu Bei, and he makes it clear Zhuge Liang is the real deal. It's a selfless act serving Liu Bei's cause even as he walks away.
Okay, so Xu Shu goes back, tells Cao Cao, nope, Liu Bei isn't surrendering.
Which naturally sends Cao Cao into a rage. He orders the advance, full speed ahead.
So now Liu Bei and Zhuge Liang have this massive army bearing down on them. Fan Cheng is clearly not an option anymore. What's the plan?
Zhuge Liang advises abandoning Fan Cheng immediately. The next logical stop, he suggests, is Xiangyang. It's a bigger city. Maybe they can hold up there for a bit.
That's a tactical retreat, trying to find a more defensible position.
Exactly. Zhuge Liang is always thinking moves ahead, even when things look dire, playing chess while the board's on fire.
But here's where Liu Bei's character really comes to the forefront, almost as a problem, militarily speaking.
His compassion.
Yeah. He just can't bring himself to abandon the ordinary people, the civilians who've been following him. He feels responsible for them, leaving them to Cao Cao. Unthinkable for him.
It's his defining trait, isn't it? That deep empathy.
So Zhuge Liang, the pragmatist, comes up with a solution. Okay, announce it.
Yeah.
Anyone who wants to come with us can.
And the response.
It's overwhelming. Guan Yu gets boats ready. Sun Qian and Jian Yang spread the word. Fan Cheng can't be held. Cao Cao is coming. Follow us if you want to live.
And the people?
The people from 2 counties, they cry out, we'd rather die with our Lord than abandon him. It's this incredible scene. The text says they were supporting the old and carrying the young, taking men and bringing women. Just streams of people pouring across the river, weeping.
Wow. That's loyalty you can't buy. While Cao Cao uses offers and threats, Liu Bei earns this devotion through genuine care. It's almost like his compassion is his secret weapon. Even if it slows him down, it creates this unbreakable bond.
It's so vivid, but heartbreaking. Liu Bei sees all this suffering, these people fleeing because of him, and he just breaks down. He cries out something like, the people suffer because of me. Why should I even live? He actually tries to throw himself into the river.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, his followers have to physically stop him. Everyone around is just moved to tears by his despair. It shows the crushing weight he felt.
That's intense. It really highlights the difference between him and Cao Cao. Liu Bei feels the human cost viscerally. It's not just strategy. It's about the people.
So this massive, slow-moving exodus. Liu Bei, his troops, and thousands of civilians, they finally reach Xiangyang. They get to the East Gate.
Hoping for refuge.
Exactly. But the gates are shut, barricaded, guarded, lined with defenses, not welcoming at all. Liu Bei calls out to his nephew, Liu Tong, who's in charge there. He pleads, just let the people in. I don't want the city. Just save the people. But Liu Tong is too scared. He's being manipulated by his relatives, Cai Mao and Zhang Yun. He won't even come out.
Cowardice and betrayal.
And it gets worse. Cai Mao and Zhang Yun actually order their soldiers to shoot arrows down at the crowd. Just imagine refugees begging for help, getting shot at. The people are just wailing.
That's brutal. So Liu Tong, Cai Mao, Zhang Yun, they choose self-preservation over everything. Over family, over their own people. It leaves Liu Bei completely stuck.
But then, out of nowhere, this guy appears, Wei Yan, described as tall, red-faced, from Yang.
Wei Yan. A key figure later on.
He just goes off. He yells against Cai Mao and Zhang Yun, calls them traitors, kills the gate guards himself, throws open the gate, and shouts for Liu Bei to come in and help him kill the traitors.
Wow. Talk about taking initiative. A sudden rebellion from within.
Zhang Fei is ready to charge in, of course. But Liu Bei holds him back. He's worried about the civilians getting caught in the fighting inside the city.
So Wei Yan creates this sudden, chaotic opportunity. It shows how volatile things were. Allegiances could shift in an instant. One man's action could change everything. Or try to.
But the chaos just keeps rolling. Another general from inside, Wen Pin, quickly leads his troops out to stop Wei Yan.
Ah, the loyalist counterattack.
Wen Pin basically calls Wei Yan a nobody causing trouble. Wei Yan, furious, attacks him immediately. So now there's this fierce battle raging right outside the city gates. Total mayhem.
So Wen Pin shuts down Wei Yan's move pretty fast. It stops Liu Bei from using that open gate. Wei Yan's brave, maybe impulsive, but ultimately his rebellion gets contained.
Yeah. And faced with more fighting, Liu Bei makes another one of those defining choices.
What does he do?
He says, I came here to protect the people, not cause them more harm. He decides not to enter Xiangyang. He won't drag the fight and all those civilians inside the city walls.
Even though the gate was briefly open, he prioritizes safety over seizing the city.
Exactly. It would become a bloodbath. So Zhu Zhiliang, always thinking ahead, suggests. Okay, next up, Jiangling. It's a major strategic base, controls river access.
A much better long-term option, strategically vital. And Liu Bei agrees.
Readily. Protecting the people comes first. Finding a secure base comes second.
That's Liu Bei. Consistent, if strategically costly sometimes. He'd rather take the harder path if it means fewer civilian casualties. Jiangling makes sense as the new goal.
And as they leave Xiangyang behind, many of the city's own citizens, seeing Liu Bei's column, actually manage to slip out and join them. The exodus grows even larger.
We're choosing Liu Bei, even in retreat, over the rulers inside Xiangyang. That says a lot.
And what about Wei Yan, the guy who started the brief rebellion?
He fights Wen Pin fiercely for hours, but his troops are wiped out. He's defeated, alone. He manages to escape, but can't find Liu Bei's main force.
So where does he end up?
He eventually makes his way south and finds refuge with Han Xuan, who's the administrator down in Changsha. A sort of footnote to this part of the chaos, but he'll reappear later. Liu Bei, who many know as Xuande, he's leading over 100,000 civilians. Think about that number. And thousands of carts, too. They're in this frantic flight trying to reach Jiangling, but how huge forces, they're closing in fast.
It's a truly harrowing image, isn't it? Just visualize that mass of people moving so slowly. And what strikes you immediately is Liu Bei's emotional state. The source describes him pausing at Liu Biao's tomb. He's openly weeping. Right there with his generals, he cries out, "Rude younger brother Bei is without virtue or talent, failing the heavy trust placed by my elder brother. The sin rests solely with me and has nothing to do with the common people. I hope elder brother's heroic spirit will save the people of Jingshang." That sorrow wasn't just personal. It was public, it was raw, and it really moved everyone, the civilians, the soldiers, everyone.
Yeah, that kind of open vulnerability, you don't often see that in leaders, especially not in times like these. It's quite something. But okay, emotion aside, this immediately creates a strategic nightmare, right?
Absolutely.
Scouts are reporting Cao Cao's army is already at Fancheng, getting ready to cross the river. So naturally, his generals come to him with what seems like the only logical, if brutal, choice.
Precisely. They lay it out very bluntly. Look, Jingangling is vital for defense. We need to get there. But with tens of thousands of civilians moving at only 10 lees a day, and that's what, roughly 3 miles, 5 kilometers?
Barely moving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How will we ever reach it in time? If Cao Cao's troops catch us, how can we possibly resist? It's better, they argue, to abandon the people for now. Just press on. This is the ultimate test, isn't it? The crucible for a leader's character.
And his response, it's just, wow. It wasn't just him taking a moral stand. It was like a declaration of his entire philosophy. He tearfully refuses. He says, one who accomplishes great deeds must take humanity as their foundation. That's the core principle. Choosing his people over strategic speed. And this, it deeply resonated. There's even that historical verse praising him for it.
Right, the one about his benevolent heart, preserving the common people, how his tears moved the armies.
Yeah, to this day, recalling at Xinjiang Mouth, the elders still remember the Lord.
It really stuck. And if you think about the bigger picture, Liu Bei's humanity as foundation, it wasn't just a moral choice, was it? It was almost a long-term strategic investment.
How so?
In loyalty, in his public image, his narrative, even though the short-term cost was immense.
Right, okay. So while he's embracing this slow, really perilous progress, barely covering those 10 lie a day, on the other side, Cao Cao is making moves. Swift, calculated moves that just couldn't be more different.
A stark contrast, absolutely. While Liu Bei is wrestling with his conscience and this huge crowd of people, Cao Cao is already at Fancheng consolidating his gains. He summons Lu Tong. But Lu Tong, he's paralyzed by fear. Doesn't dare go himself.
So he sends Cai Mao and Zhang Yun instead.
Exactly. But before they leave, there's this brief moment, but it's so telling.
Yeah.
An attempt at defiance. Wang Wei, who used to be a general under Liu Biao, he bravely tells Lu Tong, ambush Cao Cao now. He argues it's his rare golden opportunity, a chance to maybe seize control of the world.
Wow, the audacity. Strike while the iron's hot, basically.
But Cai Mao, driven purely by self-preservation, maybe personal interest, he furiously rejects it. He even tries to kill Wang Wei right there on the spot.
Seriously?
Yeah, only Kuai Yu stops him.
Yeah.
It was just this swift, decisive snuffing out of any last spark of resistance in Jingzhou.
So Cai Mao and Zhang Yun, they go off to meet Cao Cao. And they come armed with, what, incredibly flattering words.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And what seems like this very precise inventory of Jingzhou's military might, they reel off numbers. 50,000 cavalry, 150,000 infantry, 80,000 navy.
That's a massive total, 280,000 troops.
Right. Plus, they claim they command over 7,000 warships themselves.
Okay, so how does Cao Cao react? He's known for being sharp. Does he buy it?
Well, this is where it gets fascinating. His immediate reaction, he rewards them, big time. Cai Mao gets named Zenan Heu. That's a high-ranking title, like a Marquis and Grand Admiral of the Navy.
Grand Admiral, wow.
And Zhang Yun becomes Zhu Shunhao and Vice Admiral.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, right? Why would Cao Cao seem to fall for such obvious flattery?
Exactly. There must be more to it.
And there is. He secretly explains it to his advisor, Sun Yu. It reveals his pure, cold pragmatism. He knew Cai Mao and Zhang Yun were just flatterers, sycophants. But his northern troops, they weren't used to naval warfare.
Ah, so he needed them, or rather, he needed their supposed expertise, or at least their command structure for the Navy.
Precisely. He needed them for now. His plan was simple. Just deal with them later. Classic Cao Cao.
Chillingly pragmatic, and later comes shockingly fast, doesn't it?
It really does. The story describes Lu Tong and his mother, Lady Cai, personally crossing the river to surrender. They bring everything, the seals, the military tallies, the whole handover.
Cao Cao makes this grand entrance into Xiangyang, starts giving out rewards to others. Kuai Yu gets jangling prefect in Fencheng Hu.
Rewards are flowing. But then the rug gets pulled out from under Lu Tong completely.
He's suddenly demoted.
Demoted to Qingzhou inspector.
Yeah.
And ordered to leave immediately.
Ouch. What happens when he pleads? Surely he wants to stay in his homeland.
He does. He desperately pleads to stay. But Cao Cao refuses, framing it as, protection, saying it's for his own good.
Protection.
Right.
But the reality is much darker.
Much darker. The chilling truth unfolds very quickly. Cao Cao gives a direct order to one of his generals, Yu Jian.
What's the order?
Pursue Lu Tong and his mother and kill them. The justification, to eliminate future troubles.
Just eliminate them. No loose ends.
Exactly. It's where Cao Cao's ruthless pragmatism really shows its teeth. Power consolidated not through, say, moral high ground, but through calculated efficiency. Swift elimination of any potential threat.
And what about Wang Wei, the general who tried to get Lu Tong to fight earlier?
He makes one last stand. Tries valiantly to protect them, but it's futile. He's killed by Cao Cao's soldiers right before they execute Lu Tong and Lady Cai.
A tragic end for trying to be loyal.
Indeed. And Yu Jian, who carried out the order, he gets handsomely rewarded, of course, for his chilling efficiency.
Cold calculation all the way. And Cao Cao even tries to tie up the Zhu Zhiliang loose end, doesn't he? Tries to find his family.
Yes. He searches for them back in Longzong, but discovers much to his deep anger that they'd already been moved. Zhu Zhiliang had hidden them somewhere in the Three Rivers area.
Always one step ahead, even protecting his family.
Even there, yes. Zhu Zhiliang understood the game.
Okay, so speaking of strategy, while Cao Cao is doing all this consolidating, eliminating threats, his advisor, Sun Yu, points out something critical.
He reminds Cao Cao about jangling, its immense strategic importance.
Why was this so important?
Well, for its wealth, its resources, but also its position. Sun Jiao argues that if Liu Bei manages to secure jangling, it would be extremely difficult to dislodge him later.
Makes sense. And Cao Cao sees that immediately.
Oh, absolutely. He acknowledges the point right away. This race for jangling is crucial.
Now, amidst all this calculation and ruthlessness, there's this kind of interesting moment when Pin shows up.
Yes, Wen Pin. He'd been absent, hadn't served Lu Tong directly during the surrender. He returns, and he genuinely expresses sorrow for failing his previous lord, Liu Biao. The text even says he sheds tears.
Loyalty, but to a defeated enemy. How does Cao Cao take that?
This is where you see another facet of Cao Cao's pragmatism. He actually praises Wen Pin's loyalty, even though it was directed at Liu Biao.
Interesting. Why?
Perhaps he saw it as a sign of good character, someone reliable, or maybe just useful. He points him Jiangxia prefect and Guanyi Heu. And crucially, he
Whoa.
puts him in charge of leading the vanguard, using that loyalty, even loyalty to a former master, for his own purposes.
So he values the trait if he can harness it.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, back with Liu Bei's group, the scout reports are grim.
Still moving incredibly slowly.
Agonizingly slow.
Yeah.
There's still something like 300 lines, that's maybe 100 miles or 150 kilometers away from Jiangling.
And Cao Cao knows this.
He does. And he doesn't hesitate for a second. He issues a decisive order.
Which is?
5,000 elite cavalry, hand-picked. Their orders: march day and night. Catch Liu Bei within a day and a night. The main army will follow.
It's a lightning strike, just pure speed and force aimed right at Liu Bei's slow-moving column.
It's devastatingly calculated.
Now, back with Liu Bei. Zhuge Liang had sort of anticipated this danger earlier, hadn't he? He'd made a move.
Yes, proactively. Recognizing the peril, he'd advised Liu Bei to send Guan Yu ahead to Jiangxia.
To get help from Lu Qi.
Exactly. The plan was for Lu Qi to bring his forces and join them at Jiangling, reinforce their position if they could make it.
But there's been no word from Guan Yu.
None. And that silence is deeply concerning to Zhuge Liang. He knows time is running out.
So Liu Bei asks Zhuge Liang to go himself.
Yes. Liu Bei asks him to personally go to Jiangxia, appeal directly to Lu Qi. Zhuge Liang agrees immediately, takes Lu Feng and 500 troops, and heads off.
So now their forces are even more divided.
Correct. Liu Bei's got Zhang Fei guarding the rear, Zhao Yun protecting the family members, the old and young, and the rest of the troops are just trying to manage and protect this huge mass of civilians.
It feels like the walls are closing in as they continue this slow, agonizing journey. Something happens. An omen.
Yeah, the atmosphere is already tense, and then this happens. A sudden, really fierce gust of wind just whips up out of nowhere. It's so strong it obscures the sun.
Oh, that sounds ominous. Liu Bei is alarmed.
Visibly alarmed. And Jian Yang, who's with him and apparently understands these kinds of signs,
What does he say?
he interprets it immediately. Great inauspicious, he says. It's a terrible sign. He issues this dire warning to Liu Bei.
Urging him again to abandon the people.
Yes. He basically says, disaster is coming tonight. He pleads with Liu Bei one last time. Leave the civilians. Save yourself.
And Liu Bei's response? After everything.
Still steadfast. He refuses. Again. He reaffirms his loyalty, his bond with the people from Xinye who followed him through thick and thin. He won't abandon them despite Jian Yang's terrifying prediction.
He's sticking to his principle no matter what.
To the very end, it seems. They decide to just make camp right there at Jing Mountain in Dangyang County, just waiting for whatever's coming, waiting for the inevitable.
Late autumn, maybe early winter. There's this bone-chilling wind. The text calls it Qin.
Right. And dusk is coming on. Across the plains, there's just this sound, widespread crying.
It's grim, really grim. You've got tens of thousands of ordinary people, civilians, who followed Lu Suande. They believed in him.
And that grimness just explodes into chaos. Around 4 a.m., Cao Cao's army hits them hard from the northwest.
A huge force, just unstoppable seemingly. And Lu Suande, he's only got about 2,000 soldiers, his elite guard.
He's trying to mount this desperate defense, but, I mean, the odds are overwhelming. He's really fighting for his life.
Yeah, it looks like he's done for. He's in dire peril until Zhang Fei shows up.
Ah, Zhang Fei, his fiery, sworn brother. He literally carves a bloody path through the enemy.
Gets Lu Suande out. They flee east. Just raw, brutal heroism saving the day, for a moment anyway.
It really underscores the desperation, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And how much that loyal support matters in the crunch.
So daybreak comes, they fought, they fled, Lu Suande finally stops, gets a breather.
But the relief is, well, incredibly short-lived. He looks around, he's got maybe 100 riders left. That's it.
And everyone else, those tens of thousands of civilians, his family, Lady Gan, Lady Mi, his young son Adou, his key people Mizu, Mi Fang, Jianyang, Zhao Yun.
All missing. Vanished in the chaos. Their fate completely unknown.
And his reaction? It's just sheer anguish. He breaks down, weeping. He says something like, tens of thousands of lives, all because they loved me, suffered this great calamity.
He goes on, my generals and family, their fate is unknown. Even someone made of wood or earth wouldn't feel such sorrow.
Wow, you really feel the weight on him, don't you? That responsibility makes you wonder, what does that empathy tell us about him as a leader?
I think it's key. Why else would people follow him into such danger, even when he's losing? that deep care.
It sets the stage perfectly for the next twist, because right then, in the middle of all this despair,
Yeah, Mi Fang arrives, another of Lu Wande's officers. He's wounded, face full of arrows, stumbling.
and he drops a bombshell, a really startling claim. He says Zhao Yun Zhao Zilin, one of the most loyal, most capable generals.
He says Zhao Yun has defected, gone over to Cao Cao. Just like that.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Lu Suande's reaction.
Instant rejection. He doesn't hesitate.
Nope. He throws the accusation right back, basically. Zilong is my old friend. How could he defect?
He even adds, Zilong followed me through hardship. His heart is like iron. It can't be swayed by wealth or status.
I mean, that's just extraordinary faith. The evidence, Mi Fang's eyewitness account, seems overwhelming, but Lu Suande just isn't buying it.
And it's such a contrast to Zhang Fei, right? The hot-headed one.
Totally. Zhang Fei hears this, and despite Lu Suande's certainty, he believes the rumor, or at least he entertains it.
Yeah, he figures maybe Zhao Yun saw the writing on the wall, saw their side was losing, and decided to jump ship for riches and rank with Cao Cao.
He's furious. He actually vows, if I run into him, I'll spear him to death. You know?
It shows the human doubt, right? Even among sworn brothers, when things get this bad, suspicion can creep in.
But Lu Suande holds firm. He tells Zhang Fei, basically, don't be suspicious. He reminds him of Guan Yu's loyalty in a similar past situation.
He's absolutely convinced Zhao Yun has a good reason for whatever he's doing. He says, I predict Zilong will not abandon me.
That level of trust, it's almost unbelievable in that kind of chaos. It does make you think, doesn't it? How often do we give people that kind of benefit of the doubt when everything seems to point the other way?
Is it a strength? A vulnerability? It's a tough question.
Probably both, depending. But here it defines Lu Suande.
And Zhang Fei, despite his anger and doubt, he still acts on his loyalty to Lu Xuande. He goes to Changbin Bridge.
Right, and he pulls off this brilliant piece of psychological warfare.
Super clever. He only has about 20 riders with him.
Tiny force.
So he tells them, go cut branches from trees, tie them to your horses' tails, and ride back and forth in those woods nearby.
Kicking up this huge cloud of dust,
Yeah.
making it look like a much larger army is hiding there, waiting. And urge a deceptive force.
Exactly. And then Zhang Fei just stands there, alone, on the bridge, spear in hand, facing west, basically daring Cao Cao's forces to come closer.
It's brilliant. So simple, but it plays on fear and uncertainty. It shows warfare back then wasn't just about numbers, was it?
Not at all. It was a mind game, too. Perception was huge. Zhang Fei knew how to create doubt.
Okay, so while all that's happening, the despair, the rumor, Zhang Fei's bluff, we need to see what Zhao Yun himself is actually doing.
Yes, let's switch to his perspective, this supposed defector. Since 4 a.m., he's been doing the exact opposite. He's been fighting through Cao Cao's army.
Trying desperately to find Lu Xuande, find the family. He couldn't.
And he feels this immense guilt. Like he has no face to see his master because he failed to protect the family.
So what does he do? He resolves to fight to the death, to find Lady Gan, Lady Mei, and young Adou. He's only got 30, maybe 40 riders left himself.
His commitment is just absolute. He's searching frantically. Then he finds Jian Yang, one of Lu Xuande's advisors.
Wounded, hiding in the grass.
Jian Yang tells him what happened. The ladies had to abandon their carriages. Lady Mi was carrying Adou, but they got separated in the attacks.
So Zhao Yun, what does he do? He gives Jian Yang his own horse.
Puts him on a horse, sends some of his few remaining soldiers to escort Jian Yang to Lu Xuande to report what happened.
And he vows right then he'll search heaven and earth for the ladies and the child, or he'll die trying on that battlefield.
I mean, that dedication. What fuels that? Duty, honor, personal loyalty.
It's got to be all of it, right? An incredible sense of responsibility. His mission comes first, even over finding his lord immediately.
So he keeps searching, gets a tip from a wounded soldier.
And finds Lady Gan. She's amidst hundreds of other fleeing civilians.
She's weeping, obviously terrified. She confirms they got separated. She doesn't know where Lady Mi and Adou are.
So, partial success, but the agony isn't over. The search continues.
And the danger definitely isn't over. As they're talking, another group of enemy soldiers appears.
And leading them is a general, Chun Yu Dao. And Zhao Yun sees he's captured Mizu, Lady Mi's brother, a key advisor.
Yeah, Mizu is tied up on a horse. Chu Yudao is planning to present him to Cao Ren as a prize.
But Zhao Yun sees this.
And he just explodes into action, lets out this mighty roar, charges straight at Chun Yudao.
Spears him right off his horse, just like that. rescues Mizu.
And grabs 2 spare horses in the process. It's pure, focused warrior skill. Shows you why he was so legendary.
Incredible. So now he's got Lady Gan, he's rescued Mizu, he gets Lady Gan onto one of the horses.
And escorts them both towards Changban's bridge.
Where Zhang Fei is waiting, holding the pass with his bluff. This is the moment.
All the threads come together. Zhao Fei sees Zhao Yun approaching.
And he's still suspicious, right? He challenges him first. Did you betray us?
But Zhao Yun quickly explains, no, I was searching for the ladies and the young master. That's why I got separated, why I'm only coming now.
So Zhang Fei is finally reassured. Okay, he understands. The doubt vanishes.
Lu Suandi's trust is totally vindicated. The bond holds.
But Zhao Yun, he gets Lady Gan and Mizu safely across the bridge to Zhang Fei.
And then what does he do? Does he stay? No.
He turns right back around, takes a few riders with him, goes back into the chaos.
Back into the battlefield. Because his mission isn't finished. He still hasn't found Lady Mi and Adou.
That is just unwavering commitment defined, isn't it? It goes beyond any normal expectation of loyalty.
Absolutely. You can see why he's such an ideal figure in Chinese culture. A relentless dedication. Liu Bei's forces at Changban, they were in a really dire situation. This wasn't an organized retreat.
Yeah.
It was desperate. And crucially, they had thousands of civilians mixed in with them, fleeing too.
Oh, wow. So not just soldiers retreating, but families, ordinary people.
Exactly, a panicked exodus, which made Zhao Yun's mission even more perilous. He wasn't just dodging enemy swords. He was trying to navigate this human tide.
And Zhao Yun himself, he's kind of lost in all this, separated from his own men.
Yeah, isolated. His own escorts are gone. But crucially, he has zero thought of retreating himself. His mind is entirely on finding Lady Mi and the baby, Adou.
Okay.
And it's here, in all that madness, that he has his first significant encounter, a real breakthrough.
It happens.
Well, amidst the chaos, he spots this other general, armed, leading a few horsemen. Turns out it's Shahuan, one of Cao Cao's officers.
Shahuan, does the name ring a bell?
Well, the sources tell us he had a bit of a reputation. Apparently, he was known for, let's say, acquiring things during battles, looting.
Oh, okay. A looter.
Right. And he's just riding along, probably feeling quite pleased with himself with an iron spear and something else quite valuable strapped to his back. He definitely wasn't expecting Zhao Yun.
So, caught completely off guard and carrying loot. Almost seems like fate, doesn't it?
You could say that. Zhao Yun doesn't hesitate, doesn't even say a word, apparently, just goes straight for him. It's quick, really quick. One thrust of Zhao Yun's spear, and Shihaoyan is down. His men just scatter.
Just like that. But you mentioned he was carrying something valuable.
Yes. This is where it gets really interesting. Zhao Yun takes it from him. It's the King Gang sword.
King Gang, wasn't that one of Cao Cao's personal swords?
Exactly. Cao Cao had 2 famous treasured swords. The Yixin, which he kept himself, and this one, the King Gang, which he'd entrusted to Ji Haoyan. Probably not his best decision, in hindsight.
No kidding. And this King Gang sword, it was special.
Oh, yeah. Legendary sharpness. The description is it could cut iron like mud.
Cut iron like mud. Wow. Imagine getting your hands on a weapon like that mid-battle.
It's an incredible advantage. Suddenly, Zhao Yun isn't just a skilled warrior. He's a skilled warrior with a, well, almost mythical weapon.
That's a serious upgrade. But more than just the practical advantage, taking one of Cao Cao's personal swords. That must have sent a message, right?
Symbolically. Oh, absolutely. It's huge. It shows Zhao Yun's incredible skill, obviously, but it's also a massive morale blow to Cao Cao's side. Like, look, your prized possessions aren't safe, your trusted officers aren't safe.
Right.
It elevates Zhao Yun's status immediately. He's not just fighting. He's taking spoils from the top. It adds to his growing legend right there on the battlefield.
You can really feel that shift, can't you? Like his power level just went up. But even with this incredible sword, his main goal, the reason he's fighting backwards into the chaos, that hasn't changed.
Not at all. It's still about Lady Mi and Adou. So armed with the King Gang sword, he keeps searching. Alone, remember, pushing through crowds of fleeing people and soldiers. It's got to feel almost impossible.
Where does he find them?
Eventually, yeah, he spots her, Lady Mi. She's cradling Adou, sitting down by what's left of a burnt wall near a dry well.
Oh, no. Is she okay?
No, it's immediately obvious she's badly hurt. She's got a severe spear wound in her left leg. She can't walk at all.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. What does she say?
Well, she sees Zhao Yun, and there's this moment of relief, you know. She says something like, now Adou has a chance. But she knows her own situation is hopeless.
So she pleads with him.
Yeah, she begs him to take Adou. She stresses, He's Liu Bei's only bloodline left now. It's all about the lineage, the future, and she tells Zhao Yun she can die without regret if the boy is saved.
God, the weight of that. What does Zhao Yun do? He can't just leave her.
Of course not. He's desperate. He tries everything. He urges her to get on his horse, says he'll fight on foot, defend them both. He insists.
But she refuses.
Absolutely refuses, unwavering. She knows she'll slow him down, maybe get them both killed. Adou's safety is the only thing that matters to her. Her life is secondary to Liu Bei's legacy.
That raises such a profound point, doesn't it? What does that kind of sacrifice actually mean? Especially when the odds are so stacked against you anyway.
It's immense. Lady Mi isn't just thinking about saving her son. She's thinking about saving the potential future of Liu Bei's entire cause, his dynasty. That level of loyalty, putting the future, the idea, above your own survival. It was seen as, well, the ultimate expression of duty back then. Tragic, but incredibly powerful.
Yeah, powerful is the word. It puts everything into perspective. It's not just about escaping, it's about preserving hope itself. And for Zhao Yun witnessing that, it must have just solidified his resolve like nothing else.
You have to imagine so. And the situation is getting more desperate by the second. They can hear Cao's soldiers getting closer, the shouting.
So time is running out.
Exactly. Lady Mi makes her choice. Her final act. She pushes Adou into Zhao Yun's arms, and then she throws herself into the dry well.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just ends it. To ensure Zhao Yun can escape with the child.
What does Zhao Yun do? He must be
Devastated, surely. But he reacts instantly, pragmatically. He knows he can't leave her body for the enemy, so he pushes the damaged earthen wall over, covering the well.
protecting her even in death.
Right. Then he secures Adou, really carefully strapping the baby to his chest, using his armor strap and what the text calls a heart-protecting mirror for padding. Then he gets back on his horse. It's this incredibly heavy moment, grief, duty, determination, all crashing together.
Okay, so now he has the baby. He has the legendary sword, and he has this crushing sense of duty fueled by Lady Mia's sacrifice. He turns back towards the enemy lines.
He charges straight back into the thick of it. He's now got Adou strapped to him, and he's fighting his way out. This is where it becomes a true gauntlet.
So what's the first challenge? Who does he face now?
First up is a general named Yan Ming. He's one of Cao Hong's subordinates, wielding a pretty intimidating weapon, a three-pointed double-edged sword.
Sounds nasty. How does that fight go?
Swiftly. The sources say Zhao Yun takes him out in less than 3 bouts. Yeah. Shows that speed and precision again. He can't afford to get bogged down.
Conserving energy, protecting the baby. Makes sense. But surely they don't all go down that easily.
Not at all. The next opponent is much more serious. It's Zhang He.
Zhang He. Now that's a major name, a really prominent general under Cao.
Exactly. This isn't some minor officer. Their fight is much longer, described as lasting about 10 bouts.
10 rounds, with Adou strapped to his chest.
Incredible, right? But even here, Zhao Yun shows tactical smarts. He fights fiercely, but realizes he can't stay locked in a duel with Zhang He indefinitely. Protecting the infant is paramount. So he forces an opening and breaks away, continuing his escape.
Smart move. Can't win the war if you lose the objective. But then something almost supernatural happens, doesn't it?
It does. This is where the story really takes a turn into legend. As Zhao Yun is riding away, his horse suddenly stumbles, maybe hits a hidden hole or something, and they both fall into a pit.
Oh no, with Zhang He right behind him.
Right behind him, moving in for the kill, looks like it's all over. And then, this red light suddenly appears, engulfing Zhao Yun and the horse.
A red light.
Yeah, and in the next instant, the horse makes this impossible leap, just springs straight out of the pit, landing safely back on the path. Zhang, he sees this miracle, basically, and he's so astonished, so perhaps spooked, that he just stops. He turns back.
Wow. But even after that escape, he's not in the clear, is he?
Not even close. He breaks free from Zhang He, only to find himself completely surrounded. 4 more generals converge on him.
4? Who were they?
Let's see. Ma Yan and Zhang Yi coming from behind him, and then Zhao Chu and Zhang Nan blocking his path from the front. These guys were apparently former officers under Yuan Shao, now fighting for Cao. It's an overwhelming trap.
Surrounded, baby strapped to his chest. This has to be it.
You'd think so.
Yeah.
But this is where that King Gang sword really earns its legend. Zhao Yun just goes berserk, basically. Wielding this incredibly sharp sword, the text says he cuts through enemy armor like clothes.
Oh, like clothes.
And the blood flows like a gushing spring.
Yeah.
It's incredibly graphic, emphasizing the sheer destructive power he unleashes. He smashes through the encirclement, just carves a path right through them.
Unbelievable, the ferocity of it. And meanwhile, someone important is watching all this unfold, right?
Yes. High up on Jing Mountain, Cao Cao himself is observing the battle, and he sees this whirlwind of a warrior cutting through his lines, seemingly unstoppable.
He must be wondering who on earth this guy is.
Exactly. He's hugely impressed. He turns to his attendants and asks, basically, who is that tiger general?
A tiger general. High praise from Cao Cao.
Immense praise. One of his own generals, Cao Hong, actually rides down closer to find out. He shouts the question, and Zhao Yun, even in the middle of fighting, shouts back his identity. I am Changshan Zhao Zilong.
And Cao Hong relays this back to Cao Cao. What's Cao Cao's reaction then?
This is the crucial moment. Cao Cao hears the name, Zhao Zilong, and he's just blown away. He exclaims, truly a tiger general, I must have him alive.
He wants to recruit him even now.
Yes, he immediately sends out riders with an order to the entire army. Do not use cold arrows, which often meant poisoned darts or hidden shots. Only capture him alive.
Wow, that order. That must have been the difference between life and death for Zhao Yun.
Absolutely critical. Think about it. A lone rider, even one as skilled as Zhao Yun, charging through thousands of soldiers. He would have been pin-cushioned with arrows eventually. It was inevitable.
Right.
But Cao Cao's order, forbidding those lethal ranged attacks, specifically the hidden or unexpected ones, gave him a fighting chance. It shows Cao Cao's, his pragmatism maybe, his eye for talent. He valued this incredible warrior more than the immediate kill.
Even though Zhao Yun was fighting against him, that's fascinating. It's a strategic mind, always thinking long-term.
Right. Definitely. And it inadvertently saves his enemy's best warrior, and, by extension, Liu Bei's heir. The narrative itself even adds a little note here, saying Zhao Yun's escape was also thanks to Adou's good fortune, like the baby brought him luck.
Maybe he did. The single sequence of fighting. What did Zhao Yun actually achieve? The numbers are staggering, aren't they?
They really are. Carrying the infant emperor-to-be, Adou, through that intense encirclement, he cuts down 2 of Cao Cao's main banners, captures 3 enemy spears, and kills. The sources say over 50 named Cao Cao generals and officers.
Over 50, one man.
Over 50. It's an almost superhuman feat. And this is the event, more than any other perhaps, that cements Zhao Yun's place in history and legend. It's the ultimate display of loyalty, courage, and sheer martial prowess.
It's not just a battle, it's the forging of a legend right there. You can see why they called him a tiger general.
Embodied it completely.
But you wouldn't think it could get any worse, but the ordeal isn't quite over yet, is it? Just when he seems to have broken free.
Right. As the source tells us, the path of a hero is never simple. Just as Zhao Yun, covered in blood, finally bursts out of the main press of the battle, thinking he might be clear, he sees 2 more figures blocking his way.
Oh, come on, who now?
2 more generals, brothers actually, Song Jin and Zhong Shen. They're subordinates of Xiahou Dan, another major Cao Cao general. One's got an axe, the other a halberd. They're standing there, ready for him. His escape route is still contested.
Unbelievable. The fight just never ends for him.